All right, let's talk about something that's totally changing the game in education. EdTech, educational technology. It's this incredible force with so much promise, but, and this is a big but, it comes with some serious perils too. So in this explainer, we're going to break down both sides of that coin.
I mean, just stop and think about it for a second. How has technology changed the way you personally learn? Maybe you're using an app to pick up a new language, or you've taken an online course to get a new skill. It's everywhere, right? It's completely woven into our lives. So the real question we need to ask ourselves now isn't if it's changing learning. That ship has sailed. The question is how. And look, this isn't just about sticking a few fancy tablets in a classroom. Oh no, it's way bigger than that. We are talking about a fundamental ground-up shift, a whole new learning paradigm. EdTech is basically rewriting the rules of the game, making education accessible to more people than ever before. And, this is key, when it's done right, making it way, way more engaging. So, one of the biggest ideas at the heart of all of this is something called blended learning. And no, this isn't about robots replacing teachers, not at all. It's really about getting the best of both worlds. Think about it. You take that amazing face-to-face interaction you get in a real classroom, and you combine it with all the cool, flexible stuff you can do with online tools. That's blended learning in a nutshell.
Okay, so for a bit, let's focus on the sunny side of the street. Let's dive into the promise of EdTech. What are these incredible new possibilities that it's unlocking for everyone, for students, for teachers, for all of us who just want to keep learning throughout our lives? And the upsides here they're pretty incredible. First off, EdTech can seriously boost engagement and motivation. It can take learning from feeling like a chore to feeling like an adventure. Then there's personalized learning. This is a huge one. It means technology can actually adapt to how you learn at your own pace. And of course, it makes that whole blended learning model we just talked about possible. One of the coolest parts of all this has to be gamification. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good game? The idea is simple. Turn lessons into interactive challenges. So instead of just memorizing dates, maybe you're unlocking levels in a history quest, or you're earning points for mastering a new language. All of a sudden, you're not just passively absorbing facts, you're actively solving problems and hitting goals. And that just sticks with you so much better. It's fun. Okay, so the potential is huge, right? It sounds amazing, but you knew there was a but coming. Every powerful tool has a dark side, a potential for misuse. So it's time to flip the coin and look at the other side. What are the perils? What are the very real dangers that come along with all this promise? And here's the thing, the most important point, really. The big danger isn't the technology itself, it's the overuse of it. It's all about the dose. Because when screen time goes from being a tool to being, all the time, that's when a whole bunch of really well-documented risks start popping up. And this is especially true for kids and teenagers whose brains are still developing.
Let's start with the physical stuff. I mean, we've all felt it, right? Eye strain from staring at a screen for too long, that tech neck posture. But it gets more serious. A more sedentary lifestyle, just not moving around enough, can lead to things like obesity. And then there's sleep. That blue light from screens totally messes with our sleep patterns. And mentally, it can crank up anxiety and leave us feeling constantly overstimulated, like our brains just can't switch off. But it's not just about our bodies. The impact goes deeper. Too much screen time can actually get in the way of developing crucial social and emotional skills. Think about it. When you replace real face-to-face conversations with text messages and avatars, you can start to see things like social withdrawal, a drop in empathy, and just a general difficulty in connecting with how other people are actually feeling. And, of course, this brings us back to learning itself. There are some serious academic and cognitive impacts. We're seeing links to things like weaker concentration and, you guessed it, shorter attention spans. And there's another sneaky one, becoming too reliant on the tools. If a student always reaches for a calculator for simple math or a spell checker for every word, are they really building the mental muscles they need to think critically and creatively for themselves? When you put all that together, it really paints a picture. This quote sums it up perfectly. It creates this cycle of digital dependency, and that can lead to a lifestyle that's more sedentary, more isolated, and more overstimulated. And all of that, it takes a serious toll, especially on a child's overall well-being. Okay, so that's a lot of doom and gloom. So what do? Do we just toss all the tech in the trash? Absolutely not. That's not the answer.
The solution isn't to remove technology, it's to learn how to use it mindfully. It's all about building the right skills to navigate this new digital world we live in. Mindful integration, not total removal. That is the key. So, to really succeed today, students need a whole new kind of toolkit. First up, strong self-discipline, the ability to ignore that notification and stay focused. They need sharp, critical thinking to sort fact from fiction online. They absolutely need digital literacy, which we'll talk more about in a second. And they need to develop the habits of an autonomous learner, someone who can take charge of their own education. And it's not just on the students, of course. Teachers have a massive role to play here. They can be the ones who harness all this tech for good. How? By creating really engaging, interactive activities. By using tools to give quick, helpful feedback. And, so importantly, by using these platforms to build a real sense of community so no one feels isolated behind their screen. So as we look to the future, the big challenge becomes crystal clear. It's a balancing act, right? We need to balance all this amazing technological innovation with what we know is irreplaceable, human-centered learning, that connection. And figuring out how to master that balance, well, that is the future of education. Now, I mentioned a key skill for this future is digital literacy, and we have to be really clear about what this is. It's not just knowing how to use an app. It's the whole shebang, the competence and the tech know-how to navigate the digital world effectively and safely. Honestly, it's not a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's a fundamental. It's right up there with reading, writing, and arithmetic. And here's another huge concept, and it might just be the secret superpower of learning: metacognition. It sounds complicated, but it's really just thinking about your own thinking. It's that little voice in your head that stops and asks, hey, am I actually getting this, or are my eyes just moving across the page? When students learn how to do this, it's a total game changer. They're not just learning content. They're learning how to learn. They know when to switch strategies, how to tackle problems, and they become those truly independent, lifelong learners we're all hoping for. And all of this, it brings us to one final, really big question for the future. With artificial intelligence becoming a bigger and bigger part of EdTech, we're facing this incredible new challenge. Is it actually possible for us to use AI to create these perfectly tailored, personalized learning experiences without accidentally taking away a student's own independence, their own agency, or their spark of human creativity? That's the tightrope we're all going to be walking, and figuring that out is the next great adventure in education.